Joining us now is Australian female enduro champion Jess Gardiner. Jessica, it's great to have you in the studio today. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, for the motorsport fans out there and for perhaps those that don't know as much about the sport, when we talk about enduro, we're not talking about motocross going around on a track. It's something completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, with enduro it's a lot more technical than motocross. I'm not taking away from the motocross riders, that's for sure, but with the motocross, it's on a man-made circuit with jumps and a few things like that. And with the enduro side of things, we normally race for about 8 hours a day. And
for 4 days?
Yeah. Well, in Australia, we have one event, which is called the Australian 4-day event, which goes for 4 days straight and 8 hours a day. Or most of our nationals and the World Championships go for 8 hours a day for 2 days straight over a weekend. So yeah, it's a challenge out there, and that's why I like the enduro more than motocross. I first started off in motocross, but now enduro is more a challenge for me, that's for sure.
And you obviously had such a big 2012. Can you explain what you've been doing? You've been to France, obviously, and then you came back to Australia just recently to race as well.
Yeah, this year I woke up on Anzac Day morning, actually, and I said, I really want to race the World Championships. And my stepdad, Dave, he said, you are absolutely crazy. The World Championships is in 3 weeks' time. You need to organise everything. And I knuckled down and sent a few emails out, and I ended up racing 8 rounds of the World Championships this year. I went to Spain, Portugal, Italy and France, and that was a huge success. Each round I got better and better, and from 7th place to 5th places next round, and then with the last round in France I finished 3rd on the podium for the first time ever. So yeah, I was pretty excited with that. And from France, which was only the end of October, I flew straight to Melbourne for the Australian 4-day championship. I raced for 4 days straight. The morning I landed was the first day we started, and yeah, I ended up winning that by about 8.5 minutes. So I was pretty happy with that, and yeah, it's come a long way this year, and I can't thank my parents and everything for that event to be there for me and take my bike, and to Yamaha Australia for giving me the brand new bike, and all my sponsors for just putting everything together to make that happen. That's a big part of it. So
yeah, it was quite an effort. From what I understand, you've hopped off the plane jet lagged, had a couple of hours sleep. The folks have tuned up the bike for you essentially. You only got, I think, a couple of 100 metres of riding to sort of get used to it. And the most interesting thing about the enduro event for me is the fact that no one else can touch your bike for the 4 days, just about. It's basically woman versus machine. You have to do all the repairs yourself.
Yeah, with our sport in enduro, that's another part of the technical side of things. We need to know all the mechanical side to the bike, and in controls we need to work on our bike to adjust things where we need, and so that makes it more of a challenge too. If you have a few crashes and break maybe a lever, or hopefully nothing more, but yeah, we need to work fast and stay calm and fix the bike as quick as we can to keep on track and finish the day without losing any test times. So, but yeah.
Is that something you knew beforehand, or did you learn when you just started racing? Is that a skill you knew before?
It wasn't, because I've only been racing for about 6 years now, and I started off in motocross, and motocross is only a 15-20 minute race, so your parents can fix your bikes in between the races. And when I started getting into enduros from a world champion, Jeff Ballard, is an absolute legend, and he brought me into the enduro side of things, and he taught me, along with my stepdad and my real dad, or slowly taught me each day. We're in the garage, we're doing tyre changes, and I first started off, it took me 15-20 minutes to do one tyre change, and now I can change 2 tyres and an air filter in 15 minutes. So it's come a long way, and it's just a learning process, I suppose, along the way, and just practising all the little skills and working at it each time. So
it's hard to imagine an F1 driver being able to get out and sort of change their own tyres and do stuff like that. It's pretty incredible what you guys do, and you seem to be making up for lost time 6 years on and off the bike, because not only are you beating the girls, you're beating some of the guys as well. What's it like competing in a sport mainly dominated by males?
Yeah, for sure. The male-dominated sport, when I first got into racing, I was a bit nervous and shy. I wasn't so much, wouldn't sort of keep to myself sort of thing, and my stepdad and my parents, my mum and everyone would always encourage, like, don't worry about him, just go out there, ride your own race. And I was still so nervous, and it took me probably a good year or two to get over that. And now you're just one of the guys. As soon as you put your helmet on and racing's underway, it's just like one big family out there. Everyone helps you where they can, and that's why I love enduro as well. It's such a family-orientated sport, and yeah, they make it fun for me, and that's why I love the sport I do. So.
And what does the rest of this year hold for you, and what does the future, I guess next year as well, hold for you in terms of training and racing?
Yeah, well, I've actually just had 3 weeks off since the Australian Championship this year, and I've started training with Christy McKinnon. She's the Australian Trials Champion, and we train together nearly every day. I'm with her. We do make some type of training, whether it's on the bike or off the bike or cross training on a trials bike, and so yeah, I'll keep training hard until next year, and then the World Championships begin in May, so I would like to peak in May and make a big comeback in May. That would be my ultimate goal, and our national series in Australia here will begin in March. So yeah, hopefully it all comes together, and keep training hard and come back stronger for next year is the ultimate goal. I've also got a new personal trainer that just come on board. He's from Italy that I met at the World Championships. He's writing me a program as we speak, so that'll make it a lot easier, because in the past 6 years I've sort of just mainly did the training which I thought was necessary, but now I'll have a specific program made, and yeah, hopefully follow it and become back fitter and stronger for next year.
I imagine one of the challenges would be balancing your outside life and your pursuit in this sport. I understand you also have a job as well. What's the work-life balance like?
Yeah, that's for sure. It's very hard to maintain a full-time job while trying to race the World Championships along with all the nationals here in Australia. I do drive a dump truck for JK Williams full-time, so a big thank you to the boss and all the workers there. They're amazing how much support they give me, just to even little times off work to go away racing, to compete in the nationals, and then several weeks off work this year to compete at the World Championships. And I've actually stuck their logo on my bike, which I think the big boss is pretty happy with, and just small things like that are a really big help. I don't think I could be able to do this without them, because obviously I need to pay a lot of money to compete at the Worlds, and yeah, it's hard not to have a very supportive company behind me like that. But it's good fun. On the dump truck it's pretty big, and yeah, it's good fun with the boys. So.
And obviously, I'm guessing you're a bit of a rare breed being a female, as Dean said before, in a male-dominated sport. What would you say to, I guess, girls wanting to get into it, and what was the appeal for you in the first place to get into this?
My first appeal to get into enduro or motorbike racing is it's just a lot of fun out there with the guys, and really at first, like I said before, I was nervous and shy, and that took a little bit to get over. But I think for the girls out there, I think we all love a bit of an adrenaline rush, and that was the main reason I went into bike racing, because when I started I sort of was just tagging along with my parents that would go for a ride, and I'd only have like a little Pee-wee 50 or a quad bike when I was younger, and from there it just built on it, and I said, oh, I want to make something of this. And I remember my first day in Minicana, it's just riding around Rich's Hats to learn how to ride a bike. And I cried my eyes out this first day, and I'm like, oh, I'll never be able to ride a two-wheeler bike. And I think that day is the day I decided I really want to make something of this, and nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it. And I think that I'm slowly getting there at the moment, and that's my main goal, to get there. And I hope that other girls will see that and use that to build on whatever sport they choose, and especially I'd like more girls to come into motocross and enduro, but you just need to be confident in yourself and aim to achieve the biggest goal you can. And some people might tell you along the way, oh, there's no way you can achieve that, or no, I don't think you're capable, but you just need to block them people out and stay around positive people, and it comes together in the end. So.
All right, Jessica, it was wonderful having you in. Best of luck for the World and the National Championships next year, and maybe we'll get you back and see how you're travelling next year.
Thank you. That'd be awesome to come back in, and thank you guys for having me on board today. And a big thank you to all my friends, family, everyone that I train with, and all my sponsors. A big shout out to all of my sponsors. They know who they are. So thank you, and Big shout out to Sports Camera for the GoPro footage that was live here today.
Yeah, everyone's using GoPro at the moment, so it's pretty popular.
Yeah, for sure.
Jess Gardiner joining us here at Fox Sports News.